episode 24 of Bibliophile series. In today's article, we are going to read about a door to housing scheme, basically a government scheme that tribals are not having great access to. This was written by Chakradhar Buddha and Rahul Mukera. Both of these are fellows at Observer Foundation, and this is present in the opinion page of the Hindu newspaper. Let's go through the article. India is home to numerous Adivasi groups, with 75 identified as particularly vulnerable tribal groups, PVTGs, across states. Okay, there are 75 PVTG groups across states. According to official data, they comprise around 14.6 lakh households. Even if you were to take like 4 people per household, this is a humongous number, close to around 58.4 lakh people. 58.4 lakh people. Okay. These tribes reside in scattered, remote, and often inaccessible areas, characterized by their reliance on methods and tools for their livelihood that predate the advent of agriculture, low literacy rates, economic backwardness, and stagnant populations. Okay. So what is being talked of is these people live in regions that are inaccessible by roads, and the fact that their life is not very enhanced by use of technology or advent of machines and tools that we usually use. This is highlighted by the fact that they use tools that predate the advent of agriculture. They have low literacy rates, economic backwardness, income generating potential is not great, and stagnant population. Population numbers are not growing. Recognizing their backwardness, the Government of India announced the Pradhan Mantri PVTG Development Mission in 2023-24 to improve the socio-economic conditions of PVTGs. Okay, PVTGs are particularly vulnerable tribal groups. In line with this initiative, the Pradhan Mantri Janjati Adivasi Nyay Maha Abhiyan PM Janman was launched in November 2023 with a budget of 24,000 crore. Okay. Basically, we've been told that there has been a concerted effort at trying to provide housing for these people. No, nothing of the nature housing as you mentioned. That was only in the title. Here it is Development Mission and Adivasi Nyay Mahabhiyan. Nothing about housing as you mentioned so far. Let's go forward. The PM Janman seeks to provide essential services to PVTGs, which includes safe housing, clean drinking water, and sanitation through 11 critical interventions. The PVTGs and frontline officials face challenges in using a mobile application to register for the housing scheme. The biggest direct benefit scheme in the PM Janman, which aims to reach 4.9 lakh PVTG households by 2026. Okay. So targets wise, they are 14.6, 4.9 is roughly 1/3 the PVTG households they are planning to reach by 2026. And the challenge that officials are facing and PVTGs themselves are facing is the fact is the mobile application that they have to use in order to register for this housing scheme. This is the biggest direct benefit transfer scheme under PM Janman. Its objective is to ensure that every PVTG household has access to secure and habitable housing, safeguarding them from environmental challenges and providing them with a sense of security. Households under the scheme are entitled to receive 2.39 lakh each in 3 installments. Okay, so each of the households that are under the scheme will get 2.39 lakhs in 3 installments. Now, the expectation is that we will reach 4.9 lakh households and 2.39 lakh per household will be given by 2026. But an inherent challenge has been mentioned that people are finding it difficult to register. Official face challenges in using a mobile application to register for this housing scheme. Center's housing scheme for tribal groups facing hurdles due to lack of accurate data on particularly vulnerable tribal group population. Okay, so basically they are also saying because we don't have precise data on where people are and how many people are in what regions, we are also facing troubles on account of that. The first point highlighted is the fallout of data mismatch. Data collection or registration in DBTs, direct benefit transfers, is a key factor that dictates the delivery of entitlements to citizens. So, however many people register for something, then you dole it out to them. Direct benefit transfer is, as the name suggests, direct benefit transfer. This is evident in instances such as the widespread wrongful deletions of Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act workers and suspension of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi entitlements, often due to mismatches between the details entered during registration and Aadhaar records. Okay. So basically what is being mentioned here is the fact that there is some data present with Aadhaar officials in Aadhaar records. There is some data that is being entered within this drive via the app, the registration process, whatever is happening. If there is a data mismatch, the records get deleted, the people get deleted. And one of the biggest challenges here, although it is not mentioned here, one of the biggest challenges here is when you go to not so developed regions, a lot of time at the end of the name, especially for females, they write stuff like uh, let's say Asha Devi, Asha Mata, Asha Jha, Asha Verma, Asha Sharma, Asha Ji. Names get twisted very often when it comes to the non let's say the rural segment, because something Devi, something Mata, something this, something that keeps on happening at a very high rate. And then in records, at one place you have Usha and one place you have Usha Devi. You can't, let's say, reconcile the difference in the name, and therefore you say the data is mismatching. We recorded the registration process and interviewed community members and frontline officials involved in implementing the scheme in Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. So, 3 states they have gone to. The findings show that PM Janman housing encounters inclusivity and accessibility challenges for PVTGs and frontline officials. It's not just the difficulty is not limited to those being faced by PVTGs. Difficulty is also being faced by frontline officials, the ones who are directly working with the PVTGs and trying to get them to register on the app. With no census data to depend on, government scrambling to access population of particularly vulnerable tribal groups. See, this is precisely the same idea being mentioned again. We have no data, we have no census data, and therefore we are not sure of are we accessing the entire population or a part of it, or what exactly is happening. It cannot be ascertained with absolute confidence. App use and confusion. The Government of India has provided an Awas Plus mobile app to block panchayat level officials to register PVTG's households for the PM Janman housing scheme. The app gathers beneficiaries' data in 3 primary areas. It records the geographical location of the households, noting their block, panchayat, and village. So 3 data points are being captured. First is the geographical location, and within geographical location, 3 things are being captured: block, panchayat, and village. It captures the household profiles, incorporating geo-tagging for the planned construction and locations, and then collects bank account details for cash transfers. So geographical location of the household, then geo-tagging of the planned construction location, and then collecting bank account details for cash transfers. Having a job card is mandatory for PM Janman housing registration. However, the widespread deletion of over 8 crore Manrega workers in the past 2 years, this was a problem that was mentioned earlier because of fallout of data mismatch. A lot of records were deleted outright. So the fact that 8 crore Manrega workers, their data was removed from the central database, that is also causing a problem, because in order to access this Awas Plus mobile app or get the benefit, direct benefit transfer of having residential aid being provided to you, you needed to have a job card. So, however, the widespread deletion of over 8 crore Manrega workers in the past 2 years, some are from PVTGs, has led to their ineligibility to register for the scheme. So people are unable to register for the scheme because their data was removed from Manrega, and the data from Manrega was removed because of data mismatch. Okay. Additionally, numerous beneficiaries have reported cases of someone else registering with their job cards, further exacerbating the issue. Now, this is something again you can potentially understand if you are familiar with the Manrega initiative. The objective of the scheme was let us provide employment guarantee to people who may not have work all throughout the year, so that everyone has at least a basic income earning potential. What that translated into, in certain rural parts where not a lot of people were educated, the elites, or let's say the front runners of the society there, they went ahead, got cards made for everyone, then dealt with the local contractor who was supposed to make the payments or whatever dealings were to happen, and then they, let's say if 100 rupees was supposed to be paid to you, they took 100, they passed on 40, kept 60 with themselves, and they also kept the position of the job card or the proof that you are a member of Manrega. And now, potential fallout of that also mentioned here is numerous beneficiary have reported cases. I come to say, okay, I need to register, and then they realize, oh, somebody is already registered with my job card because somebody else had access to it. Basically, the middlemen are ruling the roost. Okay. A notable aspect of the mobile app provided for registration is the pre-populated list of villages. However, we found discrepancies in the number of villages populated in the app and Manrega job cards, leading to confusion among beneficiaries and officials. For instance, the app's drop-down has 22 villages, while Manrega Management Information System (MIS) has 31 villages for Vanjari Panchayat in Aluri Sitharama Raju district in Andhra Pradesh. So, in one particular district in Andhra Pradesh, Manrega database shows 31 villages, but the Avas plus app dropdown only shows 22 villages. So there is a mismatch there also. The app requires the names of the family members in Aadhaar, but does not provide guidance on what name should be provided in the absence of Aadhaar. Moreover, the app does not capture any explicit information about the PVTGs, including the social category field, which has a default ST option. This results in non-PVTGs registration as well. Okay. So if you are not a particularly vulnerable tribal group, you are also getting to register on the app, which is not right, or at least the scheme was not meant for you. These ineligible registrations have prompted local officials asking PVTGs to submit certification from Sarpanches Mukhyas in some areas. Basically, because the app does not have a filtering mechanism, the local officials have imposed a filtering mechanism by themselves, wherein you have to get some sort of certification from your Sarpanches or Mukhya or local political leader. Okay. In villages where PVTGs and non-PVTGs coexist, we have come across instances of some non-PVTG Sarpanches Mukhyas acting against the interest of PVTGs in providing certification. Okay. In villages where PVTGs and non-PVTGs stay, you have given power to a local leader, and they are abusing their power. There is scope for abuse of this power. Okay. We also discovered that geotagging option is causing chaos due to network issues. This is a technology challenge, this is an operational challenge, this is a technology challenge, lots of wonderful things. The app prompts the enumerator to choose from 3 options. The app prompts the enumerator, the person who is registering, to choose from 3 options: cooperative bank, commercial bank, or regional rural bank. Upon selection, a drop-down list of banks corresponding to the chosen category appears. For example, selecting commercial bank presents over 300 options. Additionally, upon choosing a specific option such as the State Bank of India for registration in Andhra Pradesh, the drop-down shows 500 options for its branches. This cumbersome process introduces unnecessary complexity for both PVTGs and officials. Okay. Now this here can be overcome. If you ever done any sort of online transfer. Ideally, there should be an option. If you don't know the IFSC code, you go through this long process. But if you know the IFSC code, you simply put in the code, and the database should be able to simply use recall function from the array that it is accessing to get to what branch and what code and what is being utilized. IFSC code option should be provided here. At least My limited technological knowledgeable self knows IFSC code can perhaps overcome this challenge. Despite the government of India's initiative to establish, okay, now they have also one other additional challenge has been mentioned. So far, the biggest challenges fallout of data mismatch, app use and confusion. There are lots of issues on which there is no clarity. And then the last issue mentioned is leaving out a key bank. Despite the government of India's initiative to establish an India Post Payments Bank (IPPB) to improve banking services, especially in areas with limited banking infrastructure, the app does not include IPPB in the list of banks. This omission is puzzling, since the Union government has repeatedly emphasized the role of IPPB in facilitating financial inclusion. Okay? Streamlining the registration process, updating the app, and incorporating the IPPB as an option are essential steps to facilitate a greater participation of PVTGs in this scheme. Proactive measures to reinstate deleted job cards and also community engagement initiatives such as involving Gram Sabhas can improve the effectiveness of the scheme. Okay. So see, from this part onwards, the authors have gone into pointing out how things can be improved. Previously, they were focusing on what are the challenges. Now they are focusing on what can be the potential solutions. And this is a wonderful writing style. Whenever you point towards problems, if you provide some sort of solution, if you provide some sort of corrective action that can help you make the work fall into place, that is considered a good writing style. Okay. PVTGs, proactive measures. Okay. Despite numerous initiatives aimed at addressing their vulnerabilities, the narrative of PVTGs in independent India persistently echoes the words of Adivasi rights activist B.D. Sharma, who described the plight of Adivasis as an unbroken history of broken promises. Basically, all commitments made to them have consistently been broken. If set right, the PM Janman presents yet another opportunity to transform the lives of PVTGs, albeit a small step, in enabling them access the benefits of India's growth story. Basically, the Adivasis will have access to the kind of resources, the kind of let's say technology and other aspects that the rest of the India has on account of its growth. The Adivasis will also get a small step towards being able to access that kind of information. So, if I had to list out everything here, first there is a new scheme. There is a scheme that was started in November 2023, PM Janman with 24,000 budget. Then the authors have gone into three states, Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Odisha, and they saw some challenges. The first challenge being data mismatch. Lots of job cards, Aadhaar job cards had been deleted because of data mismatch in Manrega, and now when people are coming to register for this scheme on the Awas Plus app, they're seeing their job card is no longer accessible or available, so this goes away. Then there are lots of challenges when it comes to the app, because there is a data mismatch again, but data mismatch at the block level, wherein let's say for Andhra Pradesh, there are only on the app there are 22 villages listed, but in Manrega database you have 31 villages listed. Then the process of selecting the bank is a tedious one. First you select what type of bank, then you select which bank, then you select which branch. Apart from that, IPPB, the India Post Payments Bank, is entirely missing from the list when it was touted as one of the most important tools to financial inclusion in India. So this is very puzzling. And then the author and the authors finish off by saying streamlining the process, proactive work from our end. There are lots of steps that we need to take in order to ensure that the Asivasis get a piece of the pie of India's growth story. They have also mentioned B.D. Sharma, who had a beautiful line. Unbroken chain of broken promises, unbroken history of broken promises. Basically, lots of times Adivasis have been promised XYZ stuff, and then it does not get delivered to them because broken promises. So, If PM Janman is serious about helping these Adivasis, then these are the steps that they need to take. That is mentioned in the last two paragraphs as such, and that is the entirety of this article. Okay. The length of the article is 927 words. Total sentences are 39. Grade level is 11.38. Somebody with high school level of education should be able to comprehend this comfortably. I think I have not updated this from the last one. I'm so sorry. This is 11.38, and reading E score is 55.793. So fairly difficult to read, or moderately easy to read, whatever you choose to call it. So this course, yes, the test is moderately easy to read. So this will be it for this episode. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you also learned about the PM Janman scheme and some of the challenges surrounding it. See you all in the next episode. Okay, bye.